Hello everyone, welcome back to Seams and Notches. If this is your very first time, thank you so much for joining the family, and please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button so you don't miss a thing. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you once again for joining us, and please don't forget to comment down below on what next you want us to feature on this channel. Now, without any further ado, let's get started on what we have for you today. These are the tools that we'll be needing for today's tutorial. I have got my pattern master, my pattern paper, my L-square ruler, tracing wheel, pencil, eraser, paper scissors, notcher, measuring tape, and of course sewing pins, but this is totally optional. Hi guys, this is our model. His name is Adriel Aweka. Say hi, Adriel.
Hi.
So Adriel is going to be our model for today, and I'm just going to show you how we are going to take the basic measurement we need for our shirt block. So for our very first measurement, we are going to take the chest measurement, and that is around this area. So Adriel, if you can raise up your hand, and we are going to take our tape measurement underneath the armpit like that. Please note, when your measuring tape is around the chest area, you want to advise your model to put down their arms so that they are in a relaxed position. The second measurement we need is our side depth measurement. So you want to place your finger around the nape of your model. So I'm just going to place my finger here, and that measurement until it gets down to where your armpit is, where it ends. So you're just going to take your measuring tape to that line. So get where that armpit ends there and that line. This is where your side depth measurement should be. Next, we need the back neck, which is the nape as well, to the waist measurement. So you're going to place your measuring tape around the nape and down to the waist area. And that is your back neck to waist measurement. And again, you need the length of your shirt. So you're going to place it on the high point shoulder downwards, and whatever your measurement is, that will be for the length of your shirt. The next measurement we need is the across back measurement, which is around your arm side, so from here to here. And in order for you to get that, you would just measure your armhole, and in between that armhole you have your arm side. So your measuring tape should be from here to here, and that is your across back measurement. So the next measurement we need is the neck measurement. So we're going to take our measuring tape round the neck. So you don't want it too tight and you don't want it too loose. You want it exactly the right size, putting your finger in between your tape, and whatever that is your neck measurement. The last measurement we need is the sleeve measurement. So we are going for a short sleeve, and we're going to place our measuring tape at the shoulder point here, and we're going to measure downwards. So whatever sleeve length you want for your short arm sleeve, you mark that, and that will be your short sleeve length. For mine, I'm just going to go for 17 centimeters. Thank you so much, Adrian, for being our model today. What do you want to tell our subscribers?
Subscribe and like and hit the notification button.
Thank you so much, Adriel. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So the next thing we need to do is to get out our pattern paper. Make sure it's wide enough for your pattern. And again, we are going to get our straight ruler. If you have a straight ruler, that's fine. I am using an L-square ruler, but that's totally optional. Whatever you have to draw straight lines, that will do. Now, bear in mind, for this tutorial, I am going to use a sample size that is a 9-year-old boy shirt block. That's what I'm going to draft today. Now, if you're drafting sizes between 7 to 12, you can go ahead to use this drafting method. But if you're using, or if you're drafting a smaller size or smaller sizes, that is between 3 and 7, I have another tutorial for you. But this is specifically for boys shirt that is the sizes between 7 to 12. So the first thing we need to do is to draw a vertical line. We're going to draw a vertical line very close to the edge of your pattern paper. Now, that line is going to serve as your center back. And you need to bear in mind the length that you want your shirt to be. I am using a length of 45 centimeters. And again, bear in mind that we're going to be using centimeters in this tutorial. So feel free to convert your sizes or your numbers into centimeters for this tutorial. So I'm going to square a line very close to the edge of my pattern paper. And that line is going to be exactly 45 centimeters long. So once you have that, we're going to mark that as 0. To get point 1, we need a side depth measurement, which is the distance between the nape and the arm side line. You can refer back to the part where we took the measurement so you can be able to locate where your side depth is. But for now, we need the side depth measurement, and we are going to add 2 centimeters to that measurement. Whatever that is going to give you 0.1. Mine is 17.4 centimeters, and I'm going to add 2 centimeters. That is going to make 19.4 centimeters. And that is going to be my 0.1. So I'm going to mark 19.4, and that will be 0.1. So the next point, which is 0.2, is going to be the neck to waist measurement. Mine is 32 centimeters, so feel free to use whatever your measurement says. And I am going to mark that starting from 0.0. So 0 to 2 is your neck to waist measurement. And that is my 0.2. And for 0.3 is going to be a shirt length measurement. So that is from 0 to whatever length you choose, and that is going to be your 0.3. Mine is 45 centimeters. Feel free to use whatever measurement you need, and I'm going to mark that as 0.3. The next point is our 0.4, and that will be 1 to 4. Now we are going to draw a horizontal line, and that will serve as our half chest measurement. So get your chest measurement, divide that by 2. Whatever answer you have, you're going to add 9 centimeters to that measurement. My chest is 70 centimeters, and I'm going to divide that by 2, which is 35 centimeters. And I'm going to add 9 centimeters to that measurement, and that will give me 44 centimeters. And that will be my 0.1 to 4 measurement. So I'm going to get my ruler, and I'm going to place it on 0.1. And I'm going to draw a horizontal line measuring 44 centimeters across. And this will be my 0.4. So for 0.5, I am going to extend 0.3 horizontally. And it's going to stop exactly where 0.4 is. So I'm going to place my ruler on 0.3 and measure again 44 centimeters, just exactly what I have previously. And that will be 0.5. What I'm going to do, I'm going to join both lines together using my ruler. So for my 0.6, I am going to place my ruler on 0.0, and I'm going to extend it upwards by 3.5 centimeters. So from 0.0, you're going to mark 3.5 centimeters upwards, and that will serve as your 0.6. For point 7, I am going to get my L square ruler. Feel free to use a long straight ruler. And I'm going to mark exactly 44 centimeters, just what we have from point 3 to 5. A horizontal line of 44 centimeters, just like we have for point 3 to 5. And once I have drawn that in, I am going to square down, joining point 4. So once you have your point, I'm just going to mark that as point 7. Once you have your point 7, you're just going to square down, joining point 4, 5, using the same line. And that's point 7. The next thing we need to do is to mark in point 8, and that will be 6 to 8. In order for us to get 6 to 8, we need 1/5 of our neck measurement plus 0.2 centimeters. That's what we need for our point 8. My measurement is 6.5. Once I have that measurement, that is going to be my point 8. For point 9, you are going to measure exactly the distance between 0 and 6, which is 3.5 centimeters. And you're going to square down by that same measurement, which is 3.5 centimeters. And that will be your point 9. So feel free to add both points together. 8 to 9 together as well. For my point 10, I am going to measure the distance between 0 and 9, and 1/3 of that measurement, I am going to use that for my point 10. And for mine, the distance between 0 and 9 is 6.5 centimeters. So I am going to get 1/3 of that measurement, and that gave me 2.17 centimeters. So I'm going to place my ruler on point 0 and measure along the line 2.17 centimeters. And this will be my point 10. So I'm going to get my pattern master or your curve ruler or your French curve, whatever ruler you use for your curves. And I'm just going to draw a curved line joining 8 to 10. So this will serve as the back neckline. So the next point will be point 11. And for our point 11, we need 1/5 of our side depth measurement. Once you have that, you are going to subtract 0.5 from that measurement, and that will give you point 11. For mine, I have 2.98 centimeters. So I'm going to place my ruler on point 6 and place a point there, and that will be my point 11. Once I have that point, I am just going to square across. So it doesn't have to be any measurement. You just square a long line across point 11. The next point is going to be point 12. For point 12, we are going to place our ruler on point 0, and we need 1/5 of the measurement between point 0 and point 1. So get 1/5 of that measurement. Whatever that measurement is, you're going to add 1 centimeter to that answer. Whatever that answer is, that is going to be your point 12. So for mine, I have 4.9 centimeters from point 0. And I'm going to measure downwards, and that will be my point 12. So this is my point 12. For point 13, we need half across back measurement. So you get your across back measurement, half of that. That is what you need for point 13. Once you have that answer, you are going to add 2.25 centimeters to that measurement, and whatever you have, and that is going to be the measurement you need for point 13. Before we get to point 14, first of all, we're going to square across using the same measurement between 1 and 13. Mine is 16.85, so I'm just going to mark that there. And once I have that, I'm going to square upwards. And that is, this point is going to be 0.14. 0.14. The next point is 0.15, and I'm just going to write 0.15 here. This is going to be my 0.15. For 0.16, we need 0.75 centimeters. And that is from 0.15, we need to measure outwards 0.75 centimeters. So that is around here. And that is going to be our 0.16. So this point is our 0.16. I'm just going to write it big enough for you guys to see. So that's a 0.16. Next, we are going to get our shoulder length. But to get that, we need to join 0.8 to 0.16. That is our shoulder length. For 0.17, we need to measure the distance between 12 and 14 or 14 and 12. Whatever that measurement is, you are going to subtract 1.5 centimeters. Once you have that measurement, you are going to place your ruler on 0.14 and you're going to measure along this line your answer. Mine is 6.93. So I'm going to place my ruler on 0.14 and I'm going to measure inwards 6.93 centimeters around here. And that is going to be my 0.17. Now for 0.18, I am going to measure from 14 downwards 0.5 centimeters. So that's really going to be a very small gap there. 0.5 centimeters. And this will be 0.18. So once I have that point, I am going to draw a curved line. So it's not really curvy, but a bit of curve. And I'm going to use that for my dots, your back dots. So you want to get your pattern master to draw in that curved line, or your French curve, or whatever curve ruler you have, you can use that. So I'm just going to draw a curved line joining 0.18 to 17. For 0.19, this is 0.7, so we need 5 centimeters downwards. We're going to measure 5 centimeters downwards from 0.7, and that will give us 0.19. So from 0.7, measure 5 centimeters downwards, and that will give you 0.19. For 0.20, you will need your 1/5 neck measurement. Once you have that, you're going to subtract 0.8 centimeters from that measurement, and whatever answer you have, that is going to be your 0.20. And to get your 0.20, you are going to measure from 19 inwards. So you're going to square across inwards. So for my answer, I have 5.5 centimeters. So I'm going to place my ruler on 0.19 and I'm going to measure 5.5 centimeters. And this will give me my 0.20. For 0.21, we need 1/5 of our neck measurement. And whatever that answer is, you are going to subtract 1.5 centimeters from that measurement. And you're going to place your ruler on 0.19 and you're going to measure downwards that answer that you've gotten. So mine is 4.8 centimeters. So I'm just going to place my ruler on point 19 and I'm going to measure downwards 4.8 centimeters. And this is going to be 0.21. Next, I need to draw in the front neckline. So I'm going to get my French curve and I'm going to connect 20 to 21. So I'm just going to draw that there, and that will serve as my front neckline. Next, we need to mark in point 22. For point 22, we need 1/5 of our side depth measurement. And once we have that answer, we are going to add 0.5 centimeters to that answer. And whatever the answer is, you are going to mark starting from point 19 downwards. You're going to mark a point, which is going to be our 22. And for mine, I have 3.98 centimeters. So I'm just going to measure that along this point, which is point 19. So I'm just going to measure downwards 3.98 centimeters. And this will be point 22. So we have 21 underneath and we have 22 above. So next we're going to square a line across inwards from point 22. So you want to draw that in there. So once you have that line squared across inwards, you are going to measure the distance between point 8 and point 16. Whatever measurement you have, you will need that for point 23. So for mine, the distance between 8 and 16, I've got 11.98. So I'm going to place my ruler on point 20 and I'm going to make sure my measurement is 11.98. So make sure you have that exactly what it is. So now that I have that measurement, I'm just going to draw a line from 20 downwards, and this is going to serve as point 23, that point there. For point 24, you need the measurement between point 4 and 21. Whatever that measurement is, you're going to divide that by 2. Once you have that, you are going to add 1 centimeter to that measurement. So for my measurement, I have 7.75. I'm going to place my ruler on point 21 and I'm going to measure downwards, and that will give me 0.24 using my answer. So my answer is 7.75. 7.75. So that is 0.24. For 0.25, we are going to measure the distance between 0.1 and 13. Mine is 16.85, and I'm going to use that measurement for 0.25. So I am going to place my ruler on 0.4, and I'm going to measure along this line inwards. So I am going to measure 16.85, and that is going to serve as 0.25. So I'm going to square upwards. I'm going to square a line upwards, and I'm going to square from 0.24 to this very line. And I am going to name this point, or call this point, 0.26. Before we get to 0.27, I'm just going to square across from 0.2, just a line across. For 0.27, you're going to measure the distance between 13 and 25. Whatever that measurement is, you're going to divide that by 2. Once you have that answer, you're going to add 0.5 centimeter to that answer. For my answer, I have 5.7. So from 25, I am going to mark 5.7 along this line. So from 25 inwards, I'm going to mark 5.7, and this is going to serve as my point 27. So once I have that, I'm going to connect 23, 26 to 27. So I am done connecting 23, 26 to 27 for the front armhole. For the back armhole, I have connected point 16, 18, and 27, and that has given me the back armhole. So what I need to do next to get point 28 and 29, I am just going to place my ruler on point 27, and I'm going to square downwards. So I'm going to square a line downwards like so, and this point will give me 28 and this point will be 29. For point 30, I am going to measure the distance between 28 and 29. 28 and 29, and I am going to get 1/4. I am going to get a quarter of that measurement. So mine is 4 centimeters. I am going to place my ruler on point 29, and I'm going to measure upwards 4 centimeters. And this will be my point 30. For point 31, I am going to measure the distance between 0.5 and 0.29. Whatever that measurement is, I am going to divide that by 3. So 1/3 of that measurement is going to be my point 31. And I'm going to place my ruler on point 27 inwards, and I'm going to measure 7.3, because that's my answer that I got from 1/3 of the distance between 5 and 27. So I am going to measure 7.3. So what I'm going to do with that, I am going to draw a curved line for the hem of my front shirt. So like so, I'm just going to draw a curved line. Like that. So for point 32, I am going to measure the distance between 3 and 29, and 1/3 of that measurement, that is going to serve as my 32. So I am going to place my ruler on point 29, and I'm going to measure inwards. So I have 7.2 for mine. So I'm just going to mark that there. And that will be point 32. So like we did for the previous point, I am going to draw a curved line. I am going to measure 0.75 on both sides of point 28. So I am going to place my ruler on point 28, and I'm going to measure 0.75 this way and 0.75 this way as well. Once I have those measurements, I am going to use my pattern master to draw in a curve around this area. So first of all, I'm going to start from 27, and I'm just going to join that to 28. And I'm going to continue from 28 joining to 30, like so. So again, I am going to repeat that on the other side. The next stage will be for us to add in our button stand and the center back fold line. So I'm going to be showing you that next. So for point 33, we are going to place our ruler on point 21. And this is going to be for our button stand. We are going to measure from 21, 1.5 centimeters outwards. So you want to make sure you have your ruler on the line, and you're going to measure 1.5 centimeters. So I'm just going to name this point 33. Once you have that, you're just going to mark that and square downwards. So once that is done, to get point 34, from point 33, we are going to measure for the button stand facing. We are going to measure 3.5 centimeters from point 33 outwards. So 3.5 centimeters outwards, 3.5, and that will be point 34. Again, we are going to square downwards. So that's for our button stand facing. Then for our back pleat, we need to measure from point 12, and that will give us point 35. We need 2 centimeters outwards. So 2 centimeters here, and this will give us point 35. Again, we are going to square across, and that is for the back pleat. So we join both points together, like so. So make sure you have your line corrected. So that is and we're just going to take that out. So you want to make sure it's 2 centimeters outwards from point 12, and that will give you point 35. And that is everything we need for our shirt block. The last thing we need to do from point 34, we need to just give this a little bit of curve. So we don't want it straight, we want it curved around the tip area. So you don't need any measurement for that. We just want it a bit curvy around this area. So when you fold it, you have enough fabric to cover the button stand like so. Now our shirt block is done. The next thing we need to do, we are going to draft in the sleeves and the collar. So that will be on a separate video, but for now, this is the shirt block. Now that we are done drafting the shirt block, the next thing we need to do is to label our blocks, trace them all out, and make sure you add your seam allowance. Before we trace our shirt block, we need to bear something in mind. We're going to trace our front pattern piece as one piece. We're going to add our 1 centimeter around the seam line and the edges. For the back pattern piece, we are going to have this traced in 2. So this is going to be pattern 1 and pattern 2. So this we are going to trace from 12 all the way to 0, 8 around this first part, and that is the back shirt yoke, and for the lower part is the rest of the body. So we are going to trace from this point to 18 down like so, around back to that point. But for our back pattern piece, that is the lower part, we are going to place this on fold, and I'm going to show you how. So I have traced off the top part, which is this part. That is the back shirt yoke. And this is the lower part of our back shirt. This is the lower part, and we're going to place this on fold on our fabric. When we start sewing our shirt, I'm going to show you how that is going to look. But for the back block, you will need 2 pattern pieces for the yoke and for the lower part of the back shirt.